Today is day 7th of the Sean Combs trial, and Cassie Ventura did testify again. It is believed that she was testifying for basically the prosecution was the one who was cross-examining and asking her a lot of questions. She brought up many key elements of abuse and even a alleged 2018 R. Ventura recounted how in 2018 she met Combs for dinner to seek some type of closure. He allegedly R'd her in the apartment. She describes it as a very traumatic experience. She also stated that he was no longer himself, like it was not the person she knew, and his eyes looked black. I will say that with Combs, I do think that he is like super narcissistic. He's abusive, he's very deviant, and just soulless. So she was looking into black eyes of a soulless soul. He has no soul, and if he does, it's probably demonic. In 2013, she also testified that there was an incident where she was packing for a trip. She was trying to get away from him multiple times, but it was this big trauma bond where she kept going back and forth, back and forth. She said during this time, it led up to a violent altercation. Ventura sustained a severe eyebrow injury requiring stitches with a permanent scar, and they even showed the photos in court. We have to remember that Combs has always threatened her to blackmail her, to expose her for the FOs. She said that he basically would show her the videos of the FOs and with the male S workers and stated that she would be exposed. And he basically exploited her. We have to remember she's been with him for a very long time, for 10 years, and it started at a very young age, around 18, 19. He also had her on drugs. She had an opiate addiction. She was in and out of consciousness. She even talked about how her mouth would have multiple sores and how she continued to get UTIs because she frequently had so many UTIs that she was on antibiotics so long that she became resistant to them. I will say, for somebody to be on antibiotics that much that they actually become resistant to them, it takes a long time of repetitive antibiotic use. And most of the times that's why doctors don't want to prescribe you antibiotics unless you actually have an infection, because people become resistant to them, where the antibiotics would not work for her UTIs and other bacterial infections. What's also interesting is that they watched the video again. I guess the video is a whole 15 minutes. Cassie actually did a lot of name dropping of people who were associates to Sean Combs, such as D-Rock, a personal security guard, and of course, Christina Korim, who was basically Diddy's chief of staff. And she did mention that she told them that she was going to write a book, and Christina and Sean Combs literally laughed at her and were like, we don't care. And then when she said that she was going to sue them, they basically began to blackmail her. She also did confirm the Kid Cudi rumor. So she said that when her and Sean Combs were having, obviously trouble, that she was seeking a friendship and somewhat of a romantic relationship with Kid Cudi. When Sean Combs found out, he became explosive in rage, and he actually threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car. This car did blow up, and Kid Cudi even had a conversation with Sean Combs, and Sean Combs was like, what car? You don't have a car no more. He continued to exploit her, where she was very scared to even look for help or talk to people about help because she was scared that people would find out about all these FOs. And also she was continuously being abused with illegal substances, and she also grew an addiction to opiates. She said in 2022 is actually the last time she used opiates, and she went to rehab, but it's been an on again, off again struggle with this opiate addiction. And I do blame Sean Combs for this opiate addiction because he introduced her to so many things at such a young age. Another thing that's interesting is she did confirm that Jonathan Odie, who was the man who shot up the Trump, I believe, hotel and had that recording in the police station where he said he was an ex-slave to Combs and Cassie, and that he actually got an infectious disease which would relate in mouth sores. And she did confirm, yes, that is true and that is viable. So I posted about this, and I also posted how Jonathan Odie had a mysterious amount of money, which I believe Sean Combs paid him to basically keep him quiet. You can look at my Diddy trial playlist. It's over 47 videos of all the allegations and accusations that have occurred over these few years with Sean Combs. Also, if you want to look at every day of this court case, it is under the Sean Combs court case playlist. So I have two playlists. Sean Combs' main tactics for keeping Cassie quiet and abusing her were drugs, opiates, verbal threats, intimidation, of blackmail, of threatening to show everybody the S tapes, also emotional and financial abuse, threatening to involve others such as Kid Cudi or even people that she was associated with her friends. He even abused one of her friends and hit one of her friends in the head with a wooden hanger where her friend had a concussion. So this relationship is very abusive. It continued for years, and I'm just glad that she is no longer trapped, which was words that she used, and that she has now been able to get out of this very manipulative and fear-based relationship. And I do think that Sean Combs is very dark and twisted. Let me know what you think in the comments.